Welcome to the Madjef Show. Hey man, this is episode number 19. I got a good friend of mine on the show today. His name is Ray. That's fire. Don't burn yourself or your hair. Just tuck it in and slide on into this show. Dave, welcome to the show, baby. What's good? I'm your host, Madjef. Let me take off my glasses. You know, it is 4:20. You know what I mean? I might have to do the whole show like this. Let me see. What you think? This is my Cheech and Chong on my Cheech and Chong. It is 4:20, but I'm going to roll without those and just kind of work it like this. Anyway, I'm your host, man. In case you haven't seen me before, been to my show, welcome to the show. This is the Madjef Show. On this show, I chop it up with like all kinds of people, man, that you may know or you may not know. But the reason they're on the show is because of how influential they were in my life and in my career. Check it out. I'm rocking my KMOJ shirt. Hey, babe, I'm rocking my KMOJ t-shirt. Hold up. Let's get a pose going real quick. Get some liveness happening. Hold up. Babe, damn, that's your cue. You missing it. This is my KMOJ shirt. Damn, girl. Live. Bam. Oh, snap. KMOJ. Oh. One love. Give my peace out, baby. Let's go. Ooh, that was live TV. See, that's what I like about live TV. And on your own channel. You can do whatever you want to. Anyway, welcome to my show. Again, I'm your host, Madjef. Man, who's on my show today, you ask? I tell you, this young fella right here. You may not recognize him now, but if I posted him next to this gentleman here, who is a major celebrity, then you would know who he is. This is Jimmy Jam on the right of the Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis partnership, famous Flytetyme Records, greatest R&B producers in the history of R&B music. Pretty much, that's how that song goes. That's Ray on the left, and Ray was an influential guy. In the Flytetyme camp in more ways than one. But before we get into that, I wanted to drop my little news bit right now. So let me tune things down a little bit real quickly, because there's some news that I want to share. And you know what? First of all, when people ask me, you know, in the comments, people will say to me, "Well, what do you want to wear today?" I'm like, I don't think about that. But if somebody sends me T-shirts like these dope KMOJ T-shirts, I will rock these. And why? Because KMOJ is the only radio station in Minneapolis when I moved there where you can listen to R&B music. So when people ask me what I'm wearing, you know what I say to them?
Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. That's Flash.
Oh, man. You know what? The problem is I'm having too much fun. But here's the news. Here's the news, people. This is what's good right now in the world today. This man was found guilty. Yeah. See, if you're going to kill somebody, bro, I don't care who you are, what color you are. I don't care. If you're going to kill somebody and be filmed doing it, you deserve to go to jail for the rest of your life. And I think that's what this verdict proves. And the sad thing is for me is that while this is all happening and it's all wonderful, there's also another trial that's going to be coming up pretty soon related to another person of color being killed in the same suburb, the very same suburb. This is close to me. I mean, the Brooklyn Center manager that was fired because of all this stuff and when it jumped off is a friend of mine. He lived right directly across the street from me. This is deep, man. It's deep, man. It's real deep, but something's got to change because we don't want every police stop to be a shootout where brothers is armed with the heavy artillery and firing back, and we want peace and we want love. So let's get that. Anyway, enough. But these are things that are meaningful and true to me. Anyway, enough about me. I really do want to get to my guest right now, so I'm about to do that, and I'm about to do it right now. Let's see what I got. Like I said, my guest, he's somebody you don't know, but he's a really good friend of mine. Here he is. This is the man, the myth, the legend. I mean, the man is someone that I truly admire and I truly respect. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, the Madjef Music Show, Mr. Ray Seville. My brother.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show, Ray.
I didn't know you was going to show that picture.
You know what? That was by accident. But would you believe me if I told you that was by accident? No, you would not.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
You know I dug that.
There's a story behind that one too. Oh my God.
Well, Ray, that's the thing with you, man. You've been around, bro. Most people don't know your history, but let's alert people, bro. You grew up in Minneapolis and you were friends with Jimmy and Terry growing up, and a lot of people don't know it, but you were working. You were on the road with Jesse Johnson. And then you worked for Jimmy and Terry for years behind the scenes, just doing everything, and I witnessed you doing it. I got some remarkable stuff I want to talk to you about the memories that we share and so forth.
Can I kill his son real
Yeah,
quick?
please do, because
It's
it's kind of
definitely
bright.
ruining
I'm
the
gonna go
shot.
to one shot
Yeah.
while you do that, because I always got something to talk about, man. Anyway, I hope you're digging my show today, and that like again that verdict, man. Whew, that's heavy stuff, man. A lot of stuff that people have to deal with today. We got so much that so much strife already. There shouldn't be anyone allowed to just perpetrate on anybody in a way that takes their life, man. So a lot of lives, disrupted in the process of trying to do whatever it is that these people are doing. It's taking lives of innocent people of color. Anyway, back to the show. Anyway, Ray Seville is back in the house. What's up, Ray?
Hey, oh, there I am. I can see myself now.
Yeah, that sun was. I was wondering what that glare was. I was like, man, what's happening all of a sudden? But Ray,
It just popped up out of nowhere.
talk to me, brother, because tell the people who you are, man. I mean, who is Raymond Samuels, aka Ray Seville, DJ promoter? That you haven't been named mayor of Minneapolis already still is a surprise to me.
Man.
Talk to me about it. Ray. What's going on up there?
I don't like the limelight, Jeff. But I am the son of Fred and Betty Samuels. My father's from Montreal, Canada. R.I.P. to him. My mother's from Coffeyville, Kansas, or Independence, Kansas. And they met here in the Twin Cities, married, had 7 kids. I was number 7, the lucky number. And grew up with 4 brothers and 2 sisters in both South Side Minneapolis and North Side Minneapolis. And that's the start of me, and the rest got.
And in that process of growing up in Minneapolis, you came up at a good time because you were friends with Jimmy Jam. You and Jimmy Jam were like boyhood friends and whatnot. And tell us the story about how you got your first turntables and how Jimmy Jam was the one who presented those to us. I know it involved a stop, and it wasn't necessarily by any corrupt police officer, but by somebody else. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, let me start from the beginning. So basically, I used to work at the Federal Reserve Bank, and I was walking down Nicollet Mall, and Jimmy Jam and I were passing each other, and we were both wearing purple Pro-Keds. And I kid you not, both fresh, brand new, and we're like, man, I like your shoes, I love your shoes, and blah, blah, blah. Then he said, hey, man, why don't you come to this teen club over here called the Disco Track, and be a bouncer. And I was like, oh, be a bouncer? Okay, cool. So I stopped over on the weekend, got the job, and me and Jimmy been hanging out since then. He was the DJ, I was the bouncer. We used to ride in our Buicks together. I had a Deuce and a Quarter. He had a Buick Skylark. And one day Jimmy was going to buy some turntables at a club called Studio 94. And on the way home, we were in his car, and on the way home, Prince pulled us over, and Jimmy got out and had a meeting with him, and got back in the car and said, oh, you can have those turntables in back. I'm about to go on tour. And I was like, what? He said, I'm going to be a part of this band that Prince is putting together. So that's when I became Ray Seville.
And with that band, what was that band, Ray? And that band's name was what?
The Time.
The Time. My goodness. So now you got these turntables. You now it's the honor has been bestowed upon you to become the next to carry. Actually, basically, at that time when you think about it, the honor was bestowed upon you to pioneer DJ music promotion, etc. in Minneapolis, because there wasn't any.
There wasn't none at all.
It was you guys.
It was the club and the DJs.
That was
the
it.
club did its own thing, and the DJ did his own thing. Then nobody even promoted actually back then.
Right.
So it was kind of different.
I remember you used to be in the record pool and you used to get them records delivered to your office every day. You were a true DJ. I want to reflect on something really quick though, man. This is a memory of mine I want to share with you real quick, Ray. This is gonna blow your mind. Remember the time? So basically at Flytetyme, I love being in the studio. I wanted to be in the studio. If I had any other job while I was at Flytetyme, the job I would have wanted to have would have been Ray's job, because Ray had the sweetest job of all. Because like I said, Ray had the key. We talked about this earlier. Ray had the keys and he had permission. He could do whatever he wanted to do. Ray would come in there, drop something off, and be like, "See you later." you put the Timberwolves game on. They're gonna be Ray right down at courtside. You in the studio, Ray down at the courtside at Timberwolves. Like I said that. enjoying this. No, I love you, man. I love the energy that you brought in. I mean, you were so instrumental in welcoming me to Minneapolis, bro. That's one of the things that I'm most fond about. I just remember being out fishing with you and stuff like that on your boat, and just kind of, I was, matter of fact, when I told the story of being in the studio with, on the remix with Karen when I first met with Terry and Karen, and you were the person who picked me up and brought me to the studio and put me in the studio.
Yep.
You were the referee in there for me and DJ Cowboy because we did not get along. We were like oil and vinegar.
No.
Oil and what? Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't pretty. But hey, man, here we are. God bless DJ Cowboy. Hope he's doing well. Hope he's doing good.
He's still around,
I was
still around.
Them days, I was right out in New York, and I was really trying to get on, and I was blocked. Anyway, we won't go there. I talked to my therapist about that. I just figured I would mention it to you real quick.
But I saw that in you, Jeff. I saw that hunger in you. I knew that you were definitely bound to be in the music business. And, certain people have that, that character is like, okay, they got it. You know what I mean? You can just look at somebody and say, they got that hunger. You put that plate in front of them, and they're going to eat it all up. And what you did was you came into Flytetyme, and you learned every aspect of everybody's job. And you could do, you could sit in for Steve Hodge, a legend, engineer. You could play. You could.
You mentioned plates. I had to bring my plates out.
Quick. What you got? Oh my goodness! I didn't get a set of those.
Oh, you didn't get those? Oh,
no, I didn't get those.
Oh yes, sir. I got some kind of cup. I had some spoons. I don't know how, but I landed on me. Anyway, that's funny. But I appreciate those kind words, man. But hey, I wanted to remind you. But anyway, I was alluding to this, Ray, before you went on that rampant praise of me, bro. Don't be doing that, man. Anyway, you can if you want to. It's all good. Hey, man. Before I went there, I wanted to briefly remind you of the time when I was not in the studio and I had to do some stuff with you, and you were like, "You're gonna be working with me today." I was like, "What are we doing?" You're like, "We're gonna be driving some people around. We got to go pick the people up at the airport, right?" I was like, "Oh, this is not what I want to do. I didn't sign up for this. Well, here were the people that we went to the airport to pick up that day and drive around. Bill Bellamy, Adele Givens, the Kid Capri, and the late Bernie Mac. We spent the day escorting them around, getting them to and from for the Def Comedy Show, and it was just amazing, man.
Oh my God!
Remember the Def Jam Comedy Show?
Oh my goodness!
Remember hanging? I mean, we're just in the van. It's just me and you up front, and the four of them in the back,
hanging out.
Man, come on, bro.
Oh my God! You throwing back some long memories,
bro. I'm just saying, how do you can't forget these things if you lived in these moments like that. As a matter of fact. I went out to LA. I was in LA at the Beverly Center once, and I bumped into Bill Bellamy years later. This was like in 2010 or whatever. And I said, "Bill, I was the guy driving you around." And and Bill goes, "I remember you." It was you and Ray. You're like Jeff, right, or something like. I was like, "Bro," and we chopped it up about that day. And so such an amazing thing, man. It was such an amazing thing because they were young and they were upcoming and they were nobodies then. They were nobodies, Ray, right?
That's right.
And then
they were not selling out arenas by themselves.
And they came into Minneapolis from New York, did those shows, and from there they went to LA. So they came here, landed in Minneapolis, landed there, and then boom, off to LA. And next thing you know, major stars doing major things, and it was just an amazing thing to see and to be a part of. But that's the kind of thing that Jimmy and Terry exposed us to. And
they did,
and that was just so rare. Like go pick up Bill Bellamy, Adele Givens, Kid Capri, and Bernie Mac, and do whatever they need or whatever,
And the other show that I told you to come and work with me that day was the Coca-Cola Summerfest. The first time it ever came to Twin Cities at the Target Center, and we outsold the whole United States of America because I did the promotions. Yeah,
you killed that.
Remember that?
This was.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man. Look, I kept all this. I kept all the souvenirs, the backstage passes, everything. Man, I kept everything. This is.
Oh man.
I'm armed to do this type of show. I kept every relic.
Oh my goodness.
Ray, this was what I was wearing around my neck when I was hanging out with you and Dr. Dre, and look, I just remember being in a room with you, Ray, and we had a suitcase of money, and we had to hand it over to a group of the roughest looking brothers I ever met in my life.
Right.
and just hope that they was gonna respect the Flight Time name and business partnership, and they always did. You know what I mean? And it would, because it'd just be me, you, and like one other person or whatever. It'd be like 22 guys in there with their arms crossed like this, you know. It was like, look, just
Come and
the
get
money,
that check.
do the show, get the money, let's go. But amazing stuff,
Yep.
and that was the kind of stuff we did. But I thought that was awesome. But you were an amazing promoter. But now you're doing other stuff too. I mean, you promote a little bit of everything, don't you, bro? I mean, I see some of this kind of stuff online sometimes that you're doing and whatnot. I mean, you promoting all
Oh, yeah.
kind of shows and things
Do
like
rhythms,
that.
yeah, rhythm Saturdays. Yeah, we
Rhythm
used to knock that
Saturdays.
out.
That sounds
The
like
club,
fun, man.
yeah, it was definitely a different audience.
You got the soca
Definitely a good
joints.
vibe, good people. They come in, they pay their money, and they dance all night, dance and drink.
Dance all
It's
night.
it. Yeah, it's.
Yes,
I mean, I love the island music. Jeff, because even when I was at Flytetyme, I don't know if you remember me always going to Canada all the time, going up to
Oh
Carabana.
yes, I just not. Well, you know what? Do I not only do I remember, but I was always, my schedule was always so busy that every time you was headed up there, I couldn't
Yep.
go. I would be in the studio and I'd be like,
Yep.
Ray, it's off to Cabana. You did that, religiously, man, and you were soaking
Oh
up
man.
that music and that. But then you were heavily involved in like Stella. I got her groove.
How Stella
Back.
got a groove back.
I remember
Yep.
you being like really choosing a lot of music and vibes and really playing
Actually,
a lot
all of it.
You did a lot of that. I remember you were really
Yeah.
involved in that, and
Yeah.
that was you bringing
Yeah,
that
it
DJ
was.
experience to the table.
So yeah, Terry came to me and said, he said, "Man, I got a project for you." I said, "What's that?" He said, we're doing this soundtrack for How Stella Got a Groove Back, based in Jamaica." And I'm like, oh, "Okay." He said, "I need you to, find me artists and what kind of tracks and what kind of reggae rhythms and beats to choose." And I went ham. I just started writing everybody's name down and going through beats and tracks and sampling it and showing it to him. And then he said, "Well, if you're gonna use, I don't know if you remember that track by Tony Braxton, so high, your loves make me so high,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the
okay.
reggae mix one."
Yeah, definitely.
And I sent Terry. I told Terry about this producer in Jamaica, and Terry went to see him, had him produce a song in Jamaica. So
Yeah,
it
man.
just came a long way. Matter of fact, that one's up right over there in the corner. I
Speaking of
got
which,
that
you got,
joint.
let's go to your watch. So you got so many
Boom.
plaques on your walls. My goodness, man.
Yeah,
Like,
got
Ray,
that joint right there.
Shoot, man, you got it. You got
That's
it.
my joint.
You got the
I can't even
solo.
point right up here.
I see it. I see
Boom.
it all. I see your works. You got the Barry White
Yeah.
behind you. You know what? I love my Barry White plaque. Not many people can say they have a Barry White plaque, but us
No.
Flight Time, which is and whoever worked with him
Nah,
back in the day, which is pretty
yeah,
awesome.
I drove him around for that one. Just like I picked you up, I picked him up.
Well, speaking of picking people up, when you after Jimmy Jam gave you them turntables and bestowed upon you the responsibility of keeping music alive, and someone says, "Golly, which you did, Ray? I swear, man, you did. Like your promotions alone kept people with a party to go to, whether it was at the Riverside or wherever you were at. Ray was always doing something since the time I moved there in late '80s. There was always something going on associated with your name. I thought that was amazing. But one of the other things you did was you found time to be on tour and support one of my most favorite guitar players and musicians on the planet, Jesse
Yeah,
Johnson. Mr. Jesse.
Yes.
Just a bad dude right
Yes.
there. It's a bad
Yeah,
man.
he's a bad man on that guitar. Definitely, he can produce and write. He was just a great dude to work with, and I learned a lot from him too. That's one thing I did do with all the super producers and talent that I've been. I always wanted to learn something from them. And with Jesse, a lot of people don't know, I started out as the bodyguard, and then I became the hairstylist because he
That's
fired his
funny,
hairstylist. Then he fired the wardrobe person. Then I became the wardrobe person,
Hair,
and I was the MC.
and hair, and as we know, hair was a big deal.
Oh man!
You know,
So
hair was a
that
thing.
picture there, yeah. So that picture there was from Soul Train.
Nice.
I was backstage, and they just said, the cameraman said, "Hey, you want to take some pictures?" I said, "Sure."
You went up there,
Wasn't
got
doing
the LA,
nothing.
you got the LA Jerry curl. You was like, "We good, we're good. I'll do
I
everybody's
was
hair."
I was the seventh member of the deal.
I know that's exactly what I thought when I saw the pictures. Like Ray looked like he in the group right now. I'm not sure which one.
Right.
But you know what, Ray? Jimmy and Terry didn't trust a lot of people. But one of the people that I know they trust, explicitly was you, man. And you were around watching these guys come all the way up, and and it's been an amazing opportunity. Not many people could say they had the kind of experiences that you've had, man. What's the most remarkable takeaway from you having worked with those guys like that?
Well, it's funny. Each one has a different story. So when I graduated, well, no, when I was going to high school, Terry was graduating. He signed my first yearbook. So he graduated. Me and Jerome went to high school together, and so that was kind of funny. And then I ended up, after high school, during 18, 19. That's when I ran into 18. Ran into Jimmy Jam, and that's Jimmy Jam taught me everything from beats per minute, counting beats, the bridge, the breakdown, bars, measures, and because I didn't, he gave me those turntables. I didn't know how to DJ, and they sat there for a year, and I still have one of the turntables because Jimmy couldn't believe it. He said, "You still got one?" It's been that was like 1980. I don't know, 83, 82, 80 something. It was crazy. He gave me the turntable. I still got it, and it still works. So, but they taught me a lot. Terry taught me business. Jimmy taught me music.
Well, and you taught me how to be a sensible human being, because Ray, I've never seen you lose your cool ever, bro. Like, not even once. I saw somebody upset you once, and the only reason I knew you were upset because your glasses came down and your eyebrows went up. That was it. You're like, that's as mad as you got.
I try not to wear the glasses no more, so that I won't look so mad.
Without the glasses, your eyebrows just went up a little bit and came back down. I was like, damn, see, how do you do that? See, me, I'm more of a clear the desk kind of guy. Everybody noticed that.
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
upset. I've gotten better over the years, but anyway, Ray, before I move on, I want to play a little game with you. Because, I like to have my guests on and play a little game on. It's like a little question and answer game. I'm going to put up some pictures, and I want you to tell me what comes to mind when you see these pictures. This is not a complicated game, Ray. You can do this. Ray, what do you think about when you see something like this?
Lake Minnetonka. Crappie fishing, bass fishing. Fun in the sun.
You love to fish, man. That is the truth about you. That I know because I've been fishing with you. When you get on the boat, you really enjoy yourself. I got another picture for you. Speaking of fishing, and you do like that fishing we were talking about, what do you think about when you see this? What is this?
Oh, I think about my first time ice fishing. And without an ice house, I was freezing and sunburned at the same time with no fish.
Can you explain a little bit to the people about this ice fishing thing where somebody would utilize such a hole? Like, what's this guy? What's he sitting on right there? Is he sitting on a lake?
I'm sitting on a lake up north in about 28 degrees, and I'm trying to catch some crappies. And we walked about half a mile out on the lake.
Oh no! See, that's not gonna happen. You didn't drive out there, so that's good. But I know you've driven out there on the. I've seen you drive on the ice, and I'm still scared to this day of watching you drive out on the ice with a truck. So, but that's Minnesota. That's a Minnesota thing. I got another picture for you, Ray. One more. You're gonna dig this one. What does this remind you of?
Oh yes.
Boy.
Man, that was
that was 5,800.
I don't know. That was 5,800 hard scrabble. That was a task of my life.
Ain't that something? Now that's Jimmy Jam's house. For anybody wants
that's a great picture.
House in Minnesota. I just got the best one I could find that showed the size of this monstrosity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not even the best picture because the house up close is just so much more beautiful than this picture does it justice. But that's the size of that house. And that was on a lake. Right to the right, there's a gigantic lake with a boat and some mosquitoes and so forth. But Ray was kind of tasked with kind of keeping that place, highly, keeping it functioning and so forth. And I know he relied on you a lot to do that, man. And apparently you did a good job, bro.
Yeah, man. And I guess what, Jeff?
What?
I still got the blueprints for the house.
That's funny. Like I was telling you earlier, I got videotape of the studios, man, too. So if people want to holler at me and Ray about the stuff that we know about this legendary place, because here's the deal. I went to Detroit in 19-something, and Motown was still there. It was dingy, it was gray, the pit was mildewed, because whatever, but they still had a console set up there, and it was a legitimate place you can go visit as a museum and witness the greatness of Motown. And Flytetyme was dismantled, and it should have never been dismantled.
Never been.
I feel bad about that, right, because of the memories we shared there, the records, the music that came out of there, and so forth. But I do have some video. I got some really good video of all the studios before it was dismantled. But Ray here. Let's just get serious for a second, because truthfully, you were there at the inception of this Flytetyme studio, the Edina building where I worked for all those years, and you worked for all those years. You were responsible with the setup of that building. Can you tell me about that? Did you gut that building, Ray?
Well, yeah, let me tell you. So, one cold winter, I was out handing out flyers outside the Riverview, and Terry Lewis pulled up on me. I think his passenger was Karen White at the time, and he said, "Hey, man, I want you to come work for me at the new studio in Edina, because I heard you're flipping properties and stuff and working on properties." And I said, "Yeah, okay, I'll do that." So I went out there and met him that next Monday, and he said, "Yeah, you're hired. I want you to gut this building, and it's 15,000 square feet by myself." And I gutted it from front to back, and I was there for about 2 months in 1986. It was crazy.
That was a task. And once somebody does something like that for you, obviously, this is not a person you're going to let go, because you're not going to find people that work that hard, to make your dream come true and that you can count on. And I know that Ray, you're a very trustworthy guy, so I know that they love having you on their team. Something happened, man. Those guys had to make a change, and they did that by packing up and moving to L.A., bro. And leaving that footprint in the Minneapolis area and popping over to Los Angeles, setting up camp there. Let me ask you a question, Ray. Why didn't you go along? Why you didn't want to live in L.A., did you, Ray?
LA's beautiful. Trust me.
I love it too.
Beautiful. But you're talking to a man who is from Minnesota.
Right.
And our only problems are mosquitoes and below zero.
Right.
I've never been in an earthquake,
No.
fires,
Right.
sharks. So when that earthquake shook underneath me when I was in the hotel, and I got up and drove home the same day, then Terry called me, "Where you at?" I said, "I'm at home."
That's funny.
So, but no, LA is definitely one of those places where you can't expect the same, I don't know time frames, or it's not on the same time frames as Minnesota.
Yeah.
You can go from Minneapolis to St. Paul in 10 minutes.
Right.
You can't go from 10 miles in 10 minutes in Los Angeles.
I know, and it is Minneapolis is such a peaceful and clean place to live. People have no idea that live in some of these other major cities how clean a city Minneapolis really is to live in. I was blown away, because listen, I moved there in the 80s during the New York City garbage strike. So when I arrived in Minnesota, I was like, wow, this is a pleasant change from stacks of garbage on the sidewalks, whatever. But I want to talk to you real quick about this, because I know this is, like I said, I'm rocking my KMOJ shirt. When I moved to Minneapolis, the only way you could hear any R&B music from was this little building down in the hood that they had a little satellite, what in the satellite? Was it, Ray? It was just an antenna, right? Basically, right? Big antenna.
10-watt station.
10-watt station. And they played all the music. They were instrumental in Prince's career. And the time they played all those records. And Q Bear, thanks.
And he's still there.
My God, Q Bear. I hope you're watching Q, because that is another guy that I love. I would love to have come on the show and talk about his dedication to that station and Minnesota music, black music. So you guys are the guys that are behind the scenes. Somebody asked me recently, an artist asked me recently, "Do you know anybody that can hook me up, in the music business or whatever, whatever." I said, I know a DJ in Minneapolis that will spin your record like, nuts, because if he likes it. So that's kind of the influence that you guys have had in the community and so forth, which is amazing, Ray. It really is amazing. So KMOJ.
Absolutely. The People's Station. Yeah.
Just a long struggle to keep that station alive, even, huh?
Yeah.
Man,
it's had its lows, and now we're at our highs.
That's awesome, man. Good music. You guys literally, like I said, there was nowhere else to hear any black music at all in the state of Minnesota when I moved there in 1989, other than this little 10-watt station, KMOJ. And I hung out with Q Bear. I remember I did some commercials for radio that those guys would always welcome on the air and stuff when I was really struggling and when I first got there and trying to get going. And I did some advertising. I did anything I could to help support those guys, and I love that station, KMOJ, man. I really do. And Q Bear,
appreciate that.
Major role model, Ray, and in your role there, awesome as well, man. Man, just good stuff, bro. But most importantly, man, one of the things that Minneapolis is such a clean place to live, man, and it's so unfortunate that it's also the hotbed of all this controversy with the murder of George Floyd and stuff like that, and now the conviction of Derek Chauvin. And you're there, you're on the streets in Minneapolis. I mean, I know you, Ray. You're in your truck, you're driving around, you're witnessing everything that's going on. What's the climate like over there, man, with all this stuff that's happening right now?
Right now, Jeff, it's kind of calm now because I think it's more excitement. But in the past year, and it's been crazy, chaotic. A lot of people didn't know, days after George Floyd's murder, that there were people coming into town to do more harm to us. And every night or every 2 or 3 days, you'd hear about somebody being shot and killed, and there was no witnesses, or they always shoot them in the head and then make sure they're dead, and and there's always no witnesses, and it's find a body here, find a body there. I mean, I get all these city alerts, being that I work at the radio station, and they just stopped saying the color because they knew it was black. Every person it died in 2020 from gun violence was African American, and it's crazy.
It is. It is. And it's. I hate to see a day where every stop is a shootout, because eventually you have to arm yourself and shoot back if you're fear. If you're in fear that every time you get pulled over, there's potential that you're going to die, and your only hope is that it's going to be recorded. I mean, that's a stark reality when you're just hoping somebody's running a video camera for you. Because if it's not, bruh, you're gonna claim you had a weapon. It's really that simple. But that is the truth, man. And that's the stark reality. But check this out, though. Bet you ain't know I had this picture. You probably did. This is us in the early days. Boy, we have aged gracefully.
Man,
let's see that.
Look at us.
Let's say, oh, Ray, man.
Lord have mercy.
We have definitely, we've gotten better with age, man. I don't care what nobody say. I know I have. Hey, Ray, but dig this. You have definitely gotten better because, look, you've been working out or something, man, because you going from this guy to this guy on the right here lately. What's going on, bro? You hitting the gym?
Yeah, I go to the gym 3 times a week for the last 3 years, and it's paid off. I feel like my 18-year-old self again, and it's just a wonderful thing. If I could give anybody any advice, if I could have gave myself some advice when I was 18, I would have told myself to go to the gym now. You'll love it. Tell me, I have so much energy. I go around the clock, man. I work, I hang out, I travel, doing all the things that I want to do because I have the energy, and and I have a positive attitude because I feel good.
Well, look, you feel good too because you got these people in your life, man. You got a beautiful family.
That's right.
You got to have that beautiful family.
Yeah, that's my son and his beautiful wife, Chrislyn and Brooklyn and Chrisette, and my grandson, Junior, Brandon Jr. He was graduating this year.
Nice.
We're hanging out at our favorite spot down there, Waffle House.
The Waffle House. I love the Waffle House. Ray Seville, man. Thank you so much for coming on my show, bro. I think we covered everything, man. I'm looking to make sure I don't miss nothing. I want to make sure we don't miss nothing. I wanted to talk to you about everything and anything, just to recap our connection and our friendship that goes back 20-something, 5 years or 30. I'm not even sure anymore. But I hope it lasts and keeps going on forever, bro, because I love you, man. I love you. There's only a few people that I haven't talked to in this long that when I connect with them, it's just like it was yesterday, and you're that guy, man. I remember catching some crappies on your boat, man, and just learning the Minnesota waters from you a little bit, and then working with you at Flytetyme and enjoying every minute of that, bro.
Absolutely.
As a younger man.
I want to share something with you. I'm a flybird now.
Flybird.
So I'm a part of Florida now.
Really?
I got an address down there.
Do you really? Well, man, look.
I'm gonna come get you on my boat, man.
Because we family, I expect you will be coming to get me on your boat. Yeah, man. There's no better place,
get it,
man, for your boat. I'm telling you, year round. So.
Yeah.
The beaches are great, and the lakes are great too, man. The rivers are nice. Ray Seville, love you, man. Love you, brother. I appreciate you being on the show.
Love you too, Jeff.
I hope you checked out my Flytetyme interview. You know, I did an interview with on Jimmy and Terry just recently on the Facebook users group live stream. It was pretty dope. I rocked the fedora for the occasion. Might want to peep that,
wow.
Ray.
I'll have to check that out.
Hey, Ray,
Peep
anything
that out.
good? Anything you got coming up you want to promote or talk about before you head out of here?
Well, I'm working on a spot right now in Uptown, and I got a couple other clubs lined up. But I just want to make sure everything's correct before I do open up. And now that things are kind of settling and getting more comfortable around the Twin Cities, I'll probably have 2 or 3 club nights in the next month or 2.
That's what's up, man.
That's it. I ain't gonna tell you the names yet.
You don't have to, because I know you're not going anywhere. You've been doing this so consistently since I've known you for the people of the Twin Cities to get out and dance, bro. There's nobody. You don't even have any competition in your lane, so I know you're gonna be doing it, bro. I know.
Yeah.
Fam, hit me up when you're in town, bro. It's really that simple.
Absolutely, Jeff.
Yo,
love you too, sir.
That's Ray Seville right there, everybody. Look, can we get a big round of applause for Ray as he heads on out? Ladies and gentlemen, Ray Samuels.
All right.
Also known as Ray Seville. Man, my homie right there. Yo, appreciate you, Ray. One love.
Appreciate you too, Jeff.
That's my man right there. Man, you don't even understand. That's a good brother right there and a great guy. So I just wanted to have him on the show and kind of bring him out from behind the curtain. You got to do that with the cats that's behind the scenes, man. These people behind the scenes, man, you got to bring them out and show that these people that are successful, they get their stuff done by the help of people that are qualified behind the scenes, that are just treating them good and taking care of all their needs, taking care of their family, not stealing from them, being somebody that they know they can trust, and they rely on guys like that. Ray is one of those guys, and he built a career being that guy. In addition to that, he found time to promote all of these things, all these shows to keep people live and informed, and with Camo J in the Minneapolis and St. Paul suburbs. An inspiration to the community. They should be giving this guy the key to the city, and then make him mayor. First you give him the key, then you make him mayor. Anyway, I love you, Ray. You know I do. I can clown as long as they will allow me to, which is infinite. It's my show. I can do whatever. But you know what? We're not going to do that. And if anybody asks me, yo, it's the Madjef Show. Until we meet again, people, I gotta go because I just gotta go. I got things I gotta do. Oh, but my next guest on the show, I'm off this Saturday, as a matter of fact. I'm taking this Saturday off. I'm off this Saturday. I got another message I want to pop up here real quick. I'm off this Saturday, but on Tuesday when I get back, I'll be back with a surprise guest. I'm not gonna tell you who that guest is right now, but I will tell you later. Namely, I don't have the graphic prepared. That's all. But anyway, so you check me out on social media. I'm on the Madjef Music Show. I'm on Madjef on Instagram. Madjef Music on Twitter. I'm trying to get my Twitter up, so help me with that, man. My YouTube page is where I get all my views. I got thousands of subscribers and thousands of views. You should check me out over there. Look, and you can support me if you want to. Just scan that little thing right there, and you can buy me a cup of coffee or whatever you want to do. I got some original music sample CDs and stuff like that I have on the market. You can cop those on my Shopify store. All you got to do is scan that image right there to take you right to my store, and you can buy these things for pennies on the dollar. They're digital downloads. Man, pass them on to your kids. It's 90s influenced R&B, hip hop music and loops and beats and stuff like that. In addition to that, in my spare time, I write. I got books. These are small books, ebooks that you can learn from. I'm telling you, there's a little bit to learn from a brother like me. Just by entering the contest, listen and comment, you're in. There's a chance you can win these sexy headphones that I'll be rocking. It's these Olos, baby. Yes, they are made in the Swiss Alps. No, they're made in Italy and handmade. They're amazing quality, and these guys are great sponsors to be in partnership with. Anyway, yo, that's all I got right now. I gotta go. I'm hungry. I think I'm hungry. That's what it is for me. Anyway, Ray, thank you so much for being on the show. This is Madjef. I'm out. I'll be back next Tuesday. It's gonna be fun. That's fine. Don't burn yourself on the way out my show. That's right. Scooch up against the wall and slide on out. One love. It's Madjef. Until we meet again.